Let's start this hour live listening to Leafs coach Sheldon Keefe speaking before tonight's big game.
The big win the other night, and probably didn't have much time to come down from that, whereas we have. So we've got to make sure that we're able to ramp back up. So our focus is to get off to a good start here, and certainly we did not do that in round one. So that's there's more than enough things to get our attention here tonight.
Hockey can be a small world. Do you appreciate the irony of going up against a coach who coached the Marlies and the Leafs?
You never thought of it that way, but yeah, I mean, Paul's been around and kind of seen it and done it all over the place, and his ability to stay relevant in the league and have success is great. And he's anytime through my time as whether it's a junior coach or an American League coach or an NHL coach, Paul's been tremendous in support and helping with that, and I think he does a great job as a coach, but also for coaches and for the league.
Sheldon, in your prep for this series, what did you see that was working for the Bennett line and for the Panthers?
Obviously, there's great players there. Obviously, Tkachuk is, like we talked about yesterday, has got so many things in his game that work really well, a drive a line, but Bennett certainly supports that as well. For me, getting him back into their group changes things dramatically in terms of giving them that extra center. Yeah, just both with Bennett and Tkachuk in particular, their skill set and the fact that both guys are great competitors, and they're relentless. They don't give you a second to rest or relax. So that's really it. Going to be a real challenge for us to manage those guys, and that's to say nothing of of the others they have, Barkov and Verhaeghe's as dangerous a guy as there is in the league, to be honest, coming off the rush and all those kind of things. So there's a lot to handle with this team. I think the type of season they had, they flew under the radar in a lot of ways, but it's just to many, maybe they call it a surprise that they're here, and that's probably more to do with who they played and who they beat than it is about them. I mean, this team won the President's Trophy a year ago, and a guy like Tkachuk has come in and is playing better than he ever has throughout this season, and they've been playing playoff-like hockey for quite an amount of time. They're one of the top offenses in the NHL at 5-on-5. So there's a lot to contend with there, and you can see how and why they're able to put it all together. So we've got a great deal of respect for their game, and we feel good about our game, and excited to get back at it.
Sheldon, just go back to Paul. When you got the job, it's a very small group that have coached in this market, smaller group that have been young coaches in this market. Did he share notes? Did he reach out? And what just stands out about his teams in general? Yeah,
he did reach out at the time. A number of coaches in the league did, but certainly with his experience in Toronto specifically, he had reached out. But not a whole lot beyond that, frankly. But I think he's, like I said, when you've been doing it as long as he has, and to be able to continue to be a guy that's in demand and do a job and have another team that he navigated the way through some adversity for their group, and to be here says a lot about him and the character of his team.
What did you learn about Vic McCabe in the Tampa series, taking advantage of the opportunity you've waited a long time to get?
Yeah, I think he grew a lot through that series. I think early on, I think it seemed to me like he was adjusting to playoff hockey a little bit. But I thought in each game, I thought he got better and better. And then when you look back on it, I think some of the numbers and some of the stats and things maybe don't look too kind for him in a lot of ways. But one of the things that really stands out, is particularly knowing how difficult his matchups were, is defensively he really did not give up a lot. I think there wasn't a lot of offense, wasn't a lot going on for him in allowing us to push the puck up the ice. As it was a struggle for our team in a lot of ways, but defensively he didn't crack. Physically he was really imposing and asserted himself in the series that way, and I think that especially as the series goes on, really is an advantage for our team. He's a guy that has a lot of confidence in who he is and how he plays. He's not afraid of anything out there. He's just, whether it's the moment, whether it's the opposition. So the more experience that he gets in the playoffs, I think he's just going to continue to grow and be better. But he's just been so solid for us since coming over here.
It
Last all question. Your trade deadline guys, generally speaking, have adjusted pretty well, and that's always the risk or the concern every year for teams is the adjustment period long enough to have that impact on playoff time. Why do you think that's worked for most of your guys, and what did you try to do? A lot of different lineups in March, for sure.
Yeah, well, I think that's part of it. We tried a number of different things to try to give guys as much experience as possible with as many players as possible so that, you know, it could help that adjustment, not just in playing together, but also the chemistry of the team. You know, it's one thing to be a teammate with a guy, but when you're on their line or you're sitting beside each other consistently on the bench or in the locker room, whatever it might be, you can learn a lot about each other that way. But I think the biggest thing, as I said right from the start, when we got guys after the deadline, I think the character and the personalities of the people we brought in really helped with a lot of that. It's a lot of veteran guys, a lot of guys with great personality, a lot of guys that are very comfortable in who they are. There's always an adjustment period for everyone, but I really saw our group come together and very quickly be as close a group as we've had here. And that speaks a lot to our guys that have been here for welcoming everyone, but also just for those that have come in, and for Kyle, you know, and his group to identify those qualities in guys to make it all fit. Thanks.